With all that is bad in the world, it's easy to lose faith in the goodness of humanity. The few stories of goodwill, service, and sacrifice that circulate to our everyday attention seem truly insignificant compared to all of the seemingly endless tragedies that constantly suffocate the globe. Anywhere you look, you can see evil and suffering. There are corrupt politicians in Washington, war and unrest in the Middle East, poverty and death across Africa, the horrors of human slave trafficking all across the globe, school shootings all over our country, bullying in all its forms, suicides, drugs, gangs, and even the day-to-day inconsiderateness of us all. All of these things leave us little room to hope that humanity is truly good at the core. We all want to live in a world that is good, kind, and happy. But the world we currently live in is obviously no such utopia, and it is clear that if it is ever to become anything close to that ideal, a great change must be wrought. A change in the actions, or perhaps the lack thereof, of everyday people. As much as we wish to live in a world that is devoid of terror and suffering, for some reason we rely on others to make it so. Our faith in humanity is dependent solely on the actions of other people. But if the world is ever to become what we wish it to be, this must change. And so today, my plea to you is not to find faith in humanity, but rather to find faith in yourself. When we find ourselves in the midst of despairing for the lost goodness of mankind, we may see an ordinary person do something as simple as an ordinary act of kindness or sacrifice, and immediately our day brightens, our heart is warmed, and we are apt to exclaim that our faith in humanity has been restored. Be it a stranger who comes to the aid of someone in need, or a small child who shares their smile, these actions light our days and warm our hearts. The reason for this is that we have just seen a glimpse of the world as we wish it to be. And because we want the world to be that way, it is our responsibility to make it so. For as Mohandas Gandhi rightly said, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. And so if it brings joy to you, as it brings joy to us all, to see someone pause their busy life to help an old lady up some icy steps, stand up for that kid who is being bullied, or simply give up their comfort for another, then next time you must be the one who does those things. It doesn't matter if what you do is glorious and heroic or simple and anonymous. What matters is that you do it. Consider, for example, the life of Corrie ten Boom, a woman who devoted her life to doing good in the world. Wherever she went, be it while in comfort, while traveling across the globe, and even while suffering in Nazi concentration camps for her service, she made the lives of those around her better. Likewise, the life of Mohandas Gandhi, a man who submitted his life to the freedom of his people not only from foreign rule, but also from their own violence, equally gave the world hope and happiness. The lives and legacies of Corrie and Gandhi profoundly changed the world because they put faith in themselves and did good, instead of simply looking for that goodness in others. And yet, these heroes and others like them are no more than individuals. Individuals who chose to be the change they wish to see in the world, instead of only praising others for being that change. The point is, if you need someone to restore your faith in humanity, the only sure place to look for that person is within yourself. Like the heroes we esteem, we must forget about ourselves, open our eyes, and do what we can with what has been given us. Good deeds may not happen as often as they should, but they do happen. And they happen because of people like you. And so, if ever again you propose that there is no lasting goodness in humanity, then as a member of humanity yourself, you have an obligation to prove yourself wrong. To prove that because you want the world to be good, as long as you live, it will see the goodness in you. Ultimately, what matters is not the actions of others, but what you choose to do to bring about the change you wish to see. At the end of the day, If you want faith in humanity, you must start by putting faith in yourself.